So that penalty was on Clinton.
Yeah.
So that will be a Sharon Gleason for Scoreboard. Touchdown, Wildcats. Leadership for the next generation.
It's important.
So they're bringing in Frankie Ortiza to attempt this extra point, and it is no good.
No good.
So Oak Ridge now with 48 to Clinton's 21. Wildcats put another 6. I mean, that's a brilliant run. I got to give Douglas a lot of credit. And certainly deserved to score after a run like that.
Yeah, sure did.
65 seconds left in your OAB Law Game of the Week.
Innovation is what allowed us to reach for the stars. And now, to reach for the ignition without changing your oil for what feels like forever. Introducing Oil Guard, a Ferris exclusive. This innovative Vanguard oil system lets you go 5 times longer between oil changes. Along with Ferris's patented suspension system, you'll cut faster, mow longer, and reduce maintenance.
Back at the OAB Law Game of the Week. Oak Ridge. And this is a nice victory for Oak Ridge.
It is. It is. You know, starting 0-2, they've gotten some things figured out, and they've righted the ship a little bit. So, and this puts them in the driver's seat as far as the region goes.
It does.
Before tonight, you had Oak Ridge, Clinton, and I think Lenore City tied for first place. This puts, obviously, Oak Ridge in the driver's seat.
So, probably for the last time tonight, we'll mention kickoff sponsored by UA Local 102. Plumbers and steam fitters out of Knoxville. Go to ualocal102.org for more information. As Pearson set, kick this one off. Did a great job kicking it through the end zone all night long. This one will not get there. And so Davidson on the return, and Davidson only going to make it to about the 15-yard line.
Yeah. He kind of bobbled it there a little bit, which kind of messes up the timing just a touch.
And once he was held up, he gave up on the play before even the whistle blew.
Yeah. Clinton's got one timeout. I don't have a whole lot of strategy for 58 seconds down this many scores.
Nelson back in the game at quarterback. Handoff. And this one goes to, I don't know who that went to. I don't have a number for that guy.
I didn't, yeah.
So I think unlike Oak Ridge, Clinton is content with running the clock out.
Yeah, I think they'll snap it one more time and get out of here. Look like a lot of new folks in the game for Clinton, too.
Yep. So Nelson has one more snap. He will throw it up in the air. That pass is incomplete, which will stop the clock with 2.4 seconds left. So we'll have one more play.
One more play.
Barring a defensive penalty.
I wouldn't bet against it.
That's one thing about this game. This is a nice win for Oak Ridge, but you got to go back and look at those penalties, and you got to say, hey, this can really hurt us down the line. Like, glad we won, but you can't be doing this.
No.
Nelson's pass is complete. They got it to Maddox one last time. That is how the game will end. A great game by Bryson Maddox. All 3 touchdowns on the board were receiving touchdowns by him. But Oak Ridge really turned it up the second half. You had a couple of those Clinton turnovers. Oak Ridge took advantage of them. And so it is the Wildcats ending that streak. So again, well, it wasn't. They kept a streak from happening. So Clinton has had one winning streak since Billy Joel was born. That remains true.
And Billy Joel's an old man.
He is an old man. Born in 1949.
Yeah.
I went back and looked. So I could do that. And it would also have been true that had Clinton won, they would have had the first winning streak since Billy Joel's 2 daughters were born with his 4th wife. Yeah. So thank you, Sharon Gleason, not Jackie. Sharon Gleason. Thank you, Jackie Gleason, for all the laughs over the years, but thank you, Sharon Gleason, for Scoreboard for sponsoring our touchdowns tonight. IB3 Global Solutions, they always put the mission first. Want to thank them for sponsoring tonight as well. And Climax Roofing, more than just a roofing company, though. 5-star rating on Google. Contact them today. Discuss your project. Sabre Beauchamp, County Commissioner, says roll Wildcats roll. They definitely did that tonight. Warren Gooch, the mayor of Oak Ridge, says go Wildcats. And then Mike Kelly, affiliate broker for Betsy Coleman Realty Company. Call Coach Mike for all your realty needs. Rob Harrell, re-elect for Clinton City Council. Big Dragon fan. And KK Meredith of Ward 1 for Clinton City School Board. Also a Clinton fan. And Joey Smith for Clinton City School Board says go Dragons. And Sexton Automotive. Visit Sexton Automotive right on the Turnpike in Oak Ridge. Go to sextonautos.com. You can see their inventory, but that's not all they got. They got sales, service, collision repair. They do leasing. They do rentals. We have rented from them to go on a road trip to see Oak Ridge play. That was the only big road trip that this television station has taken. But we went and saw them play Mount Juliet, me and Coach James Gibson, and they won that game. And don't forget, tomorrow,
we get to do this all over again.
Yeah, right? I'm so excited to go back to Anderson County. Anytime you can go, it is a treat to see the Mavericks play at home. They'll have Carter doing a great. They're slinging that ball all over the field so far this season. So the Mavericks will have a tough test tomorrow, but the Carter will have an equally or greater test going up against Anderson County. And want to invite you to stick around for the Friday night Scoreboard show, brought to you by the Free Medical Clinic. Jonathan Cox, TJ Pendergrass going to be on board for that one. They were here tonight, so they'll have some insight. They can discuss this game, but also games around the area as well. You see Coach Derek Rang talking to his team. I'm going to ask you, Coach Dan Shoemaker, put yourself in the position of these coaches. Give the final word tonight.
Final word. If I'm Oak Ridge, we celebrate the victory. We come in Monday to fix the mistakes, and there were a lot, obviously, lots of penalties, lots of mental errors, lots of mistakes, and so that's what Coach Rang, I'm sure, will be focused on. Coach Hammock is going to talk about how his kids played hard. This is a big loss, but this is not defined or in the season for them. They can still reach the goals that they've set for themselves, obviously. And you come in Monday ready to go to work. I mean, that's what this part of the season is game preparation, go to work. Now, one thing that I did think about, like Anderson County and Carter play tomorrow, so that's going to be a day less preparation they have for next week's game.
Yeah, that's true.
Some teams are playing on Monday.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be even a shorter week of preparation. It's going to be interesting to see how all that kind of plays out.
Yeah. So a hurricane messed up football plans, but football is very small in the grand scheme of everything, which, again, we send our thoughts and prayers out to everyone who was affected by Hurricane Helene. There's Northeast Tennessee going through a bunch of stuff. North Carolina, I saw the historic Biltmore Village is flooded and underwater. Just terrible situation. So thoughts and prayers out for everybody. So for all the cameramen, Chandler back at the station, and for Dan Shoemaker, for Brad Jones, I am Aaron Harvey. So long. Until tomorrow.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
Welcome to the free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard. I've got a Oak Ridge fan with me tonight as they win big over Clinton in what I would describe as a very undisciplined football game. I thought both teams kind of shot themselves in the foot early. I thought the score could have been either way there early in the game, but as the night went on, Clinton competed hard. They played hard, missed opportunities early in the game, and when you're the underdog on the road, you can't have missed opportunities like they had early. The score right before the half, Cody, right when I got there, I felt like if they score there, a little bit different ball game, but I thought all in all, they just got outplayed. Clinton got outplayed there. Anyway, I thought it was a good game. I'll tell you more. When I first got there, my biggest disappointment was the Clinton crowd.
How so? Oh, like the size of it?
The size of the Clinton crowd. And as the night went on, my disappointment more was the lack of discipline and everything that kind of was going on during the game. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Jett, come on over here and
Jett, come on. Yeah, everyone. You probably wonder why I'm smirking. Our biggest. Pull up a chair.
Getting DJ seat here real quick.
Yeah, getting DJ seat. We'll pull up DJ seat here in a bit. Well, and who would have thought like you and I would be on here at the same time? Finally, everyone's dreams have come true.
Yeah,
we get to see each other in person.
Yeah, you'll be short-lived tonight, but yeah, you're here for right now.
Not if you can't show up every week.
That's what I was thinking. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, but Jett, and here's what I'm gonna ask you. And this is why I pulled you in real quick. Is it common? And I've kind of one of those guys. I've just watched Fulton football for a long time. I don't go to a ton of games, but then, my son's at Greystone. I've watched him play a couple weeks against a couple teams. Is it common, all the antics after first downs, after completions, after catches, is that something you see?
Oh, yeah, you see it week in and week out. Yeah, I mean, it's a new way it is now. Used to, you get up and you run back and you give the ball to the referee and be done, but now it's all about the show. You see a lot of extra curriculum too, after plays, and somebody's got a good block and then they slam them down to the ground, and it might be getting a little carried away, but
even when you guys played Cofield back in the day,
yeah, I mean,
there was no extra hitting, no taunting, nothing.
Most of that went on. I mean, there might have been a little bit here and there, but there was mutual respect, but mutual hate too.
Yeah.
But that all came before the games and after the games, and when I was in high school, they wasn't no bother. You know what I mean?
Because no one had social media to talk
about.
Well,
yeah, that, and we I'm 2-0. We're 2-0 against them in my high school career. So
it's kind of funny though. Like I don't want to miss the point here. It's not even the playing to the echo of the whistle, as Heupel has been saying on every radio show. He's talked about his defense. We are flying around and playing to the whistle. You've got wide receivers from Oak Ridge, doing all these celebrations, and it's an inside run for 12 yards.
Right.
I mean, first off, you've won 2 games this year.
Right.
Three now.
3 now. Okay, you've won 3 games this year.
We have won 3 games this year.
And I don't know how many of those are against a team with winning records. We'll check that.
Clinton, somehow.
Clinton's got a win record?
No, they were 2-3 going in.
That's right. They are 2-3. Thank you for phone for that, Cox. Yeah, they are 2-3. He fell for the bear. Look at this guy.
I thought it was 2-2 going into tonight. I thought whoever won would have a winning record. So, but my point is, you've not beat anybody with a winning record, and you're acting like you're, undefeated number 1 in the state, going to win a state championship.
Well, it is Clinton too, and they've had a bad taste in their mouth.
It's a big rivalry game. Yeah, it's a big rivalry game.
But still, it's a little.
There's a balance to that. I think there was a lot of emotions involved on both sides, and at the end of the day, I'm all about that same energy. If you want to keep the emotion in the game, as long as there's no birds being flipped, I'm totally fine with whatever. Let the kids have some emotion in the game. Let them have fun. As long as it's not personal and nothing is taken personal.
So you're good with your team getting 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct.
Not if it costs a penalty, but I'm all about emotion on the field. If a kid wants to celebrate, let him celebrate.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him celebrate. It's okay. Now, like I said, as long as there's no birds being flipped. Now, if it costs the team a penalty, then it stops there. Like, you had your fun, it's over. Don't keep shooting your own team in the foot.
3 years ago, my son's freshman year, we were in Oneida, and we had a big first down driving, and we were down, and we could have went on and won the game, but the kid got a first down. Kid was behind him walking off, and our guy goes, first down, automatic flag thrown. Coach says something to the referee, not the head coach, he says something, flag. You know, I mean, I thought that was a little
excessive.
A little,
yeah,
on their side.
Yeah,
so then,
right.
you know, I mean, you got to balance it out somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess from a coach's standpoint here, I'm speaking of, if you allow a kid to do that and get a 15-yard penalty, and then you're in a playoff game and it's a meaningful, close game and that happens, if you don't address it during the heated rival battle, whatever, when do you address it?
Right, and the bad thing about it is the more you do it, the more you get that name, and the more they talk. More referees talk before the games. I've been to games where they've come up and said, "Hey, look, you can hear them over there. They say 11, 5, 2."
Yeah.
You know, they're always up in somebody's face. They're a problem. You know, and they're watch them, so they're labeled in, and that's when it's going to hurt you. Is when it's in the third round.
I don't expect this to be a problem in the playoffs. This was a big emotional rivalry game for both sides. There's a lot of players from each side that talked a lot, had a lot of hand gestures one way or another. I don't think you'll see this from either team in the playoffs. If they do not play, if they play against each other, I expect a lot of.
That's what I was just fixing to say,
on.
because there's a good shot seeing Clinton's going to be in the playoffs. And
whoa,
if they
hold
win,
on now.
I think they'll make the playoffs.
I think there's only one way they don't make the playoffs, and that's if Campbell County somehow beats Carnes and there's a big tiebreaker and Clinton could come out on the short end. That's the only way I don't think they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Clinton tonight, and I don't know what happened to their quarterback. Maybe he was limping a little bit, but I thought tonight number 7 from Clinton showed he was the best player on the field, hands down.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch much of it.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns, so it's either him or number 2 for Oak Ridge, Will Presley.
It's not even close. If you switch the teams, nobody has a night like 7 had.
Right.
You know, you can double, trip, you can do whatever. I mean, there was a play, it was 3rd and 13. They put another quarterback in just to throw it 40 yards down the field.
I think Presley had 3 touchdowns along with Maddox.
Yeah,
so they both had 3 touchdowns, so you can't really make that argument.
Well, if you know anything about football and sports, you can look at the kid and say, okay, that kid's the best player on the field.
He's good.
I mean, there's no
really,
stats.
Really
you can
good.
look at stats too. The deal is, what I'm saying is, he was by far the best player on the field.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago he was leading the area in receiving yards.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then I'm sure he's added to it, and he's going to continue to add to it.
Yeah, and he's probably looks like 6'2", maybe 6'3".
And he's one of those kids that, you know, somebody could have come in and said, hey, you know what, just got you an opportunity over here, but he stuck it in.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be Clinton through and through.
Yeah, he's the best thing going on for Clinton right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really.
If you take him off that team, they're winless.
And from when I was checking scores, it wasn't too bad of a game for a while.
I want to say when I walked in, it was, I want to say 28-14, and Clinton had a chance to score right before the half on 1st and goal from about the 7. And they ran it, didn't get anything called timeout, and man, they run a great play on 4th down. They had motion going one way on the backside. They had 7 wide open on a slant.
Wow.
And they try to throw it to another kid, you know, but they had pressure in his face. But and then Oak Ridge comes out and has a 7-minute drive. Sorry, Clinton has a 7-minute drive and scores. They complete 2 long 3rd downs. On one 4th down, the Maddox kid catches the ball about 5 yards behind the stick and just bulldozes 2 Oak Ridge kids for a 1st down.
Yeah.
But Oak Ridge, just all in all, has more firepower.
Right.
They've got up front, they look so much bigger.
Was it a big crowd?
No.
it was
The
not.
Clinton side, that's what I was saying. And I don't know why. I mean, the weather tonight was great football weather.
Right.
A little bit of a sprinkle here and there, but nothing crazy.
It just rained a little bit down in Oliver Springs, and that was it.
Yeah, just a touch, maybe a little bit of a band went through. But the Clinton side, I was disappointed in them. They have been through a lot.
Yeah.
and they have a coach that took over that program. He's done a really good job. Their offense looks better than it did last year, in my opinion, as far as efficiency.
Right.
Just everybody knows what's going on. Everybody's lying. I mean, it looked good, but the crowd for Clinton was disappointing. Would you say that?
They're always disappointing. Oh, tonight, yeah. Tonight they were definitely disappointing. But they're passionate. I was there. I ran into Sleepy Williams, and Sleepy, good man, good father. And we were talking about Clinton sports, Oak Ridge sports, and they're still a passionate fan base. So I was on that side, and they got fired up a couple of times. So
I liked his little jab on Facebook when he always does the background of the games and tells you how long they've been playing, their records and all that, and then shows the picture of them tearing down a goalpost.
Oh, that's Sleepy's go. That's Sleepy for you. Last year we had a 15-game winning streak on Clinton. I give him a hard time every time. He'd be like, "Well, we tore down your goalpost." So that's the only thing he has. He'll live and die by that to his grave. But yeah, disappointing side by Clinton. I was expecting more.
Yeah. So, but anyway, just the size of the crowd I thought was disappointing. I couldn't see the Oak Ridge side. I walked back in. Coach Gaddis actually took care of me. I walked back in. I sat over there, and I mean that's the only side I could see. I sat there with Brad and them as they did the game. Those guys did a great job. It's hard to do a high school football game like that when you're trying to run a replay and then you've got the next play started without interrupting the game. The game lasted long enough. It's 3.5 hours.
It looks like we're going to get some bonus coverage tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, two things. One, sounds like we're not going to have a lot of high school ball to talk about because of the weather. And two, how did Oz play tonight?
They look good.
Did your boy get back in the field?
No, he's still out. But I really want to give a shout out to Coach Harper that, at a game where you kind of go into it knowing you're going to win pretty good, and he pulled starters after the first quarter.
Did he really?
Yes.
What was the score in the first quarter?
It was 28 nothing, I think maybe. I think it was 21-0, and he pulled them.
So do you look at that as like a practice? This is like pretty much a scrimmage for all the younger guys for Oz, trying to get reps.
And they got all kinds of reps and look good. I mean, if you look at it, they beat them. Our backups beat them 14-0. So
okay.
Just a shout out to him for having a little bit of showing some class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could have went out there and throttled them, but
could have scored 100.
And Sunbright, love their hearts. Those kids are out there knowing they probably don't have a shot, but they just want to play football.
Yeah.
They're out there cheering themselves on down 28-0, and like they're fixing to go out there and stop us for the game-winning drive.
So what was the points? How did you guys score the points? Run, pass,
we
draw?
scored 2 on if I remember correctly, we scored 2 on a pass and 3 on the run.
Let's go to the lines here. Okay. And here's what I'll say about that. Maryville has won a lot of football games, and people don't hate Maryville. And the reason they don't hate Maryville is because they know how to win.
Right.
They don't blow stuff up in your face. They don't, just gloat all over social media. And when they're up, they do exactly what you're speaking of.
Right. And that's the right way to go about it.
That's the right way to go about it.
You get them kids experience.
Very business oriented.
I mean, I seen a kid tonight, I'm pretty sure it's his first touchdown he scored. Freshman, running back. He's static tonight, and he's going to build on that and drive harder to get more playing time. And it was an all-around good game.
Well, shout out to the Oliver Springs Bobcats, where I went to middle school at. So go Cats, one way or another for me.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, we have got, I know we've got a lot of calls coming in. We have been going here for about 15 hard minutes. We're going to take a quick commercial break because at 10:30, 10:40, we've got people lined up to call in to talk about how hard this is to reschedule football games.
Wow.
Cancel football games, policies, and stuff like that. So we're going to get going here. No, we're going to play that later. I want DJ to be here for that. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
What does strength in numbers mean to you? At Covenant Health, it means we see nearly 2.2 million visits annually. It means our 13,000 dedicated experts are all working together for a common goal. With over 150 locations throughout East Tennessee, you'll always find an open door to care, because we are committed to being the first, best, and strongest choice for the one number who matters most. You. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
Welcome back to the free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard. DJ asked for it and he got it from Miss Lauren Weber.
DJ,
I got some new swag.
So DJ, real quick. Well, I thought we have someone on.
Yeah. Cody, you got to slow down and know your role. All right, we've got Ben Downs here on the phone tonight. I reached out to him earlier today because, as you all know, there is a lot that goes into a Friday night football game. Clinton and Oak Ridge pulled it off tonight. Their school systems allowed it. Knox County Schools has a policy where if they don't go to school, they don't play unless it's a special situation. So, Coach Downs, welcome to the show, and thank you for calling in.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, what all goes into moving a Friday night football game, and how hard is that?
Well, I mean, just the obvious, when you think about all the workers that we have to have for Friday night, whether it's, gate workers, we got people in the press box running different things, whether, at Anderson County we have the Jumbotron and obviously the announcer and those types of things. But, and again, at Anderson County, just so many other things that go on, like the fireworks and all that. So, and then you talk about the officials and all those things. So anytime you move a game, all that now is up in the air on can those people be there for when you reschedule. So it's not easy. It's not an easy task for any school. But, the best is, everybody can do the day that you select. Weekends are obviously hard because other things happen, but there's just so much that goes into it with so many people to move those games.
So, for example, your PA guy for years has a son playing college football. Will he be able to be there tomorrow night?
He will not, and that's kind of what I was talking about there. Our guy son plays for the Naval Academy, and they play at UAB tomorrow down in Birmingham, and he's already left town and headed down to Birmingham to see his son, and rightfully so. We want him to do that and expect him to do that, but that's kind of things you run into, though, when you move games. We got a coach of ours, Tony Lambert, whose son's getting married tomorrow. And that's just the type of things that you run into whenever you move games from typical Friday night to a Saturday night or even a Monday night, which we had originally talked about doing because of Knox County's policy of not being able to play today. Our director of schools was going to allow us, just like they did Clinton tonight down at Oak Ridge, was going to allow us to play. But because of Knox County's policy, our options were either tomorrow night or Monday night. And we just ended up selecting tomorrow night just for the better of both schools.
So when you do this, do schools have contracts saying the game has to be played? Do you know much about the contract side of it? I've heard a little bit about it. Go ahead. I'll let you speak on it.
Well, we do have a contract. There is a contract, and there's a fine that if you don't. But basically, when it comes to weather, it's kind of TSSAA has passed a new thing where both schools have to agree. So, like, we could have said, we were just shooting it straight. We were leaning toward Monday night for our change just because, like I said, we've got so many people out tomorrow night with, I think last time I talked to GT, we had 2 gate workers for tomorrow night, which I think we've scrounged up a few more since then, but we had two gate workers tomorrow night. Our PA guy was out. One of our coach's sons getting married, so he was going to be out. So we were leaning toward Monday. But what TSSAA says is that in the event of weather, both schools have to agree on the day, basically. And if they don't, then it's a no contest. And basically, Carter didn't want to play on Monday. We didn't really want to play tomorrow. But at the end of the day, they were going to just say it's going to be a no contest. And we've already missed one game. We didn't play up at Science Hill week 2 because of lightning up there when we traveled up there. So us missing another game just wasn't an option. So that's why we decided to move to Saturday and try to get this thing in.
Yeah, and it's hard. A lot of moving pieces. So, like, how much harder is it to make it being out of school the day before you play? Like in this instance, I mean, you're out of school on Friday. Now you're trying to play a game on Saturday. Talk a little bit about that, just from the principal standpoint, the admin side, and maybe the coach's side.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, Davey and those guys, I think they brought their guys in this afternoon and had about a 2-hour practice. For me in the school side, I mean, you got to think, like, one of the things that just hit me this morning, I was actually out at the school this morning, and it hit me, oh, crap, we got to get our change fund, which is, what we start the gate with and do ticket sales with. Well, luckily, my bookkeeper had went ahead and wrote the check because she had anticipated us possibly being out because of the storm. So I was able to get that. But those are the type of things that people don't think about, like checks for officials, for EMS, for all those people that have to come and work, plus the change fund to start the gate to do that. And if you don't kind of think about those things, now you get to Saturday, bank's not open, you run into a lot of problems. So there's a lot of things that go into it, especially moving it to a Saturday when you're not in school because of all those other things that, that's required.
Absolutely. And what I'll say, and I'll let these guys, you talked about this. You don't go to school, you don't play, whatever your policies is, but there has to be some kind of common sense factor that steps in. You look at the forecast yesterday, you could tell from about 2 o'clock on tonight, there might be a little bit of rain, there might be a little bit of wind, but it's not anything that these kids don't get out in if they were summer in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, well, and you probably saw our post yesterday. We kind of looked at it, being an old baseball guy. I'm used to looking at the weather and kind of predicting what we're going to do playing-wise and those types of things. But at the end of the day, yesterday, we made a decision, heck, we're playing on Friday night.
Yeah.
It's going to be clear enough. It's going to move out of here. We're going to get the game in. Well, insert Knox County's policy. And at the end of the day, just like I told you, I mean, at some point, common sense does have to. Yeah, we never ever. I want to make it very clear. We never want to put a kid or a family in jeopardy, because of weather or those types of things. But at the end of the day, there's some common sense that has to happen and say, okay, it's okay to play football tonight.
Yeah, that's very true. Hey, Coach, we appreciate you calling in and talking to us about that. I knew, so many people don't know from the admin side what all it takes to pull off a game on Friday night and kind of how that works. So we appreciate you calling in, and good luck to y'all tomorrow night. I hope y'all have a big crowd. Now, are you going to be on the PA? I think you were the backup PA or the former PA. Does that mean you're in?
Buddy, I do what they call me to do. I hope I'm not. I hope that's not the case. But if I have to do it, I'll do it. But I hope I don't have to.
Well, I think the Reverend could get in there on that mic. He could do a good job for you.
Yeah. His daughter had a big win tonight. They opened up conference play down at Kennesaw tonight. They had a big win, beat the number 2 ranked team in the conference. So he's on cloud 9. So maybe he can come back and do it.
There you go. He loves the mic. Hey, Coach Downs, thanks for calling, and good luck to the Mavs the rest of the way.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Go Mavs.
Welcome. So let me ask you this. Did I hear him correct say that Carter was willing to no contest? Like,
basically, I think what he just said is if we have to play on Monday, we are willing to make this a no contest.
So that's a region.
That is a region game. So I don't know exactly how that ends up being, but what's sad is I don't think either one of those teams wanted to play on Friday or on Monday. Right. But the good thing about it, and I looked at this to make sure I wasn't just making stuff up before I came on the air, they both could have played the game and then played a non-region game the week after. Carter was going to Northview, Anderson County, Clinton.
Yep.
The other side of that is it's Anderson County's homecoming. And they were going to do homecoming this week and senior night next week against Clinton because they end their season on the road, 3 straight games.
Yep.
So just the dynamics of everything. I think what puts everybody in a tough situation around here is the elephant in the room is Knox County schools.
Yeah.
Knox County schools.
Change
now,
that rule.
I can go on the other side and say every one of our kids should have been in school today.
Oh, yeah, for
100%.
sure.
So there's that.
For sure.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. Jesse Smithy. How are y'all tonight?
We are great, Jesse. How are you?
Good. I wasn't sure y'all would have a show. There's only about 10 games here locally, but glad y'all powered it up and getting it done tonight.
Well, you probably aren't seeing this right now, but I'll set the stage for you. I've got a Clinton fan that's also an Oak Ridge fan who's now happy either way the game goes tonight to my far left.
Let me get.
I've got Mr. Jett from Auburn Springs.
I'm disgusted.
I got Mr. Jett sporting his Auburn Springs, and I got DJ beside me with an Oak Ridge hat and a Price is Right Grace T-shirt on.
That's right.
Are there any Tennessee/Alabama fans in there too?
Cody is, but we won't go there. We're going to say high school football tonight.
He's my biggest fan. Who is this guy?
That's right. Hey, Jesse, I know you kind of needed a night to catch your breath, and you had that tonight. We just got off the phone with Dr. Ben Downs of Anderson County High School talking about the logistics from his side. Take us through your side on how hard you had to work yesterday to kind of get the information out for everybody, and then talk a little bit about what went on tonight.
I don't know if it was working hard, but it was just tedious work. It's just all day long, games changing, being changed from Thursday, then to Monday, then Saturday. It's just, it was all the way into today. I mean, games that we thought were settled and scheduled yesterday were getting canceled or moved as late as 3 or 4 in the afternoon today. So it was just ongoing monitoring of the schedule, and we tried our best to kind of keep everybody up to date on our website and encourage people to kind of check back because the situation is fluid, and it is just it's not ideal for anybody. But there are a lot of teams. I think there are about 10 teams locally that had bye weeks, and I just kind of made a joke on Twitter. I mean, they were sitting back probably just thanking God that they scheduled their bye week in week 6. I know they had some other athletics going on, but to not have to deal with this headache of football scheduling and rescheduling, I'm sure they were thankful for that.
Absolutely. I think DJ has a question for you.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing, boss?
Good, man. Good to hear from you.
All the time, man. So I've been keeping up with the Concord Lions, and I noticed a player last week, Dawson Williford, was on your list to be voted.
Sure.
2 questions. How good is Concord actually in reality today? And the second question is, how does the votes jump thousands of points away in a matter of minutes? How do you guys make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to have a governor on our side in terms of the amount of times you can vote every 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, you're supposed to only be able to vote once every 5 or 10 minutes. I can't remember what it said on, but so, yeah, we had a situation with
I think Concord and Kings Academy, where the votes were just astronomical in terms of just their sheer amount.
Yeah, they were.
Volume, and so I don't know about how we can go about showing if somebody found some type of automatic voting mechanism or whatever. But
it felt like AI was involved.
It definitely got up there. I mean, we're definitely kind of monitoring that because it was definitely abnormal. But, yeah, unfortunately, Dawson didn't win that one and went the TKA way. As for how good Concord is, it's hard to tell. I mean, they're playing a mixture of JV games and a mixture of varsity games. We saw them in our Jamboree, and it was eye-opening. I mean, they had better players than I thought they were going to have. I thought they might have 2 or 3, quote, air quote, dudes that they were able to, get in there in year one. But their talent level was way better than I thought it was going to be. Now, that being said, like, how can I compare them to somebody of a lower Division II subset? I don't know. It's just too hard to tell right now.
I'll speak on this a little bit. What happens sometimes on our voting site, this happened at Beard and Farragut, if you remember this, Jesse, a couple years ago. Basically, our site about got shut down because they come over the intercom, hey, at 1:21, we are all logging on to 5-Star Preps and we're voting for Player of the Week. So multiple people, like, Concord or whoever might have sent out, TK might have sent out an email to their people, hey, at 2 o'clock, you're going to vote all at the same time.
Right. I seen it was like 8,000, and it was close, around the 8,000 range. The next thing you know, I voted again, and the TKI guy was 11,000. Like, those numbers was amazing. I was like, dang. Well, great. It was great support and a great way to promote 5-Star Prep, so keep it up.
Yeah, and then the thing, Jesse, we watched them at the Jamboree, and like you said, they had some really good players. I don't think that they are to the level of CAK, Webb, and Grace in our area yet, which they don't have to be because they're single A in that division.
But could they beat a TKA?
Yes.
I mean, maybe, probably. Again, it's hard to say. A lot of young talent on that team, but also some upperclassmen guys that are filled out physically and definitely kind of grabbed your attention. But it's going to be exciting. I know they got a game tomorrow they're really pumped about. They play at noon against a team out of North Carolina. So
it's their homecoming,
too. Continue to build that program until we see them probably and talk about them with regularity.
Jesse Smithy, Cody Jordan here. I have a question about scheduling. I know you just mentioned earlier how there's contracts in football. Is there a way to implement this in basketball as well? Because last year there was an instance to where when the storm kicked in, snowstorm, and there was a lot of teams that chose not to play away games. Clinton at Oak Ridge, and I don't know why that happened. But is there a way to fix this problem in regards in basketball?
I don't know, Jonathan, you could probably help me out more on that than, you're much more in tune with how scheduling works and contracts work maybe with basketball than I am. I don't remember that instance. I don't think back on stuff like that too often. So, yeah, I don't know how you police that or enforce it.
Yeah, with basketball, it's such a, it's just, you never know what's going to happen. I don't want to get caught up on this simply because of how that went down. But basically, at the end of the day, you have to get your district games finished first. And you want to try to pay back the home and home. If Fulton goes to Austin East, you want Austin East to come to Fulton and try to make that work because both programs need the financial support to do that. But the first thing you have to do is you have to get all your district games rescheduled first. And then if you're going to go play a non-district game against Austin East or you're going to go play one against Anderson County, Fulton's going to pick Austin East because we need that money. Anderson County is going to bring a third of those people. And that would be the best example I could give you in basketball. Hey, talk a little bit about tonight. Any surprises for tonight, and what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, I thought Oak Ridge, Clinton, and Webb CAK were much closer than I expected them to be. Just giving the status of Clinton as opposed to Oak Ridge. I thought Oak Ridge came in a big favorite, and it took them a while to separate from Clinton. And a big reason for that was obviously Bryson Maddox, 6'5" wide receiver, had 10 catches tonight, over 200 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And just Oak Ridge didn't have much of an answer defensively against him. It's just Clinton just kept targeting him when they were throwing the football, and that paid off. And he was able to keep them in it for as long as they could. But Oak Ridge ultimately just kind of flexed its muscle and kept the pressure on Clinton, make the key defensive stops, especially down inside the red zone, and Oak Ridge able to tack on a few scores tonight. And it was a chippy game, a lot of penalties. It was tough to watch because of the amount of penalties. I hated seeing some of the unsportsmanlike gestures at the end of the game. I mean, I know that's normal when Oak Ridge and Clinton or any kind of rivals get together. For that part, it's just a heated rivalry, and when things start getting out of hand, some frustration gets let out in unfortunate ways. So we'll see if anything comes of that.
What about tomorrow? I kind of think it's funny. Hardin Valley is going to try to host 2 home football games tomorrow, one at 10 and one at 7:30. I mean, why does anybody schedule a football game for 10 o'clock?
Is that Hardin Valley game, are they playing on the road at Maryville tomorrow? I thought they were on the
they're
road
going to Maryville. Okay.
But I think that's why their home field is open for Carnes and Wilson to be able to play there later on. But yeah, I think Hardin Valley and Maryville kind of know what that game is, and they want to be able to get it over with, get their Saturdays going, be able to watch college football, and do whatever they want to do the rest of that Saturday instead of scheduling it for midday or later on that night. So go ahead and knock that thing out and get it over with. But it just kicks off a very long day of football, beginning with that 10 a.m. game, Maryville, Hardin Valley. And then the last game of the night starts at 7:30, a couple games, Anderson County versus Carter and Carnes versus Fulton. So but going back to the craziness of that scheduling, I mean, we had Greenville rescheduled for tomorrow, and then, of course, they announced 4 or 5 hours ago that game's getting moved to Monday. So it's been an ever-changing situation, especially with the floods in upper East Tennessee and the damage that has done. Yeah. So first and foremost, we just pray for those communities up there, and just seeing the videos that have come out there are pretty scary. I mean, people stranded on top of hospitals, roads collapsing, dams, failing. That needs to come first in protecting those people and those communities, and football secondary up there.
Hey, Jesse, DJ here. Just a question. Speaking of, I know North Carolina, they are pretty much underwater. Do you know where that team is from that's playing Concord tomorrow? Are they okay to play?
Yeah, they're from Hayesville, wherever that is. I know I-40 East was shut down around mile marker 432. I mean, that road collapsed. I'm not sure if the opposing direction is shut off as well, or there's some kind of workaround that they could come from North Carolina. I have not seen that game canceled or called off because of travel conditions just yet.
Okay.
Gotcha. Well, buddy, we appreciate you. I know there's a lot going on tonight and a lot going on tomorrow. Like you said, the first one starts at 10, the last one starts at 7:30, and the last one's not even playing at the home site due to a band competition.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, and we're going to try to cover as much as we can. I'm going to head out at 10 a.m. tomorrow and try to make as many stops as I can throughout the day and just try to make the best of it. As I called it on Twitter, it's the longest day in high school football. You're a golf fan like me. You know that U.S. Open sectional qualifying is the longest day in golf, and that's the kind of approach I'm taking to tomorrow. So we're going to drink a lot of caffeine and get through it one way or the other.
Hey, is Halls Powell playing tomorrow?
Halls and Powell plays at 1 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon at Powell.
Come by after you get done there. I'll feed you. I'll give you some more caffeine.
All right. We'll make the deal.
All right. Sounds good, Jay. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, see you guys.
See ya.
I know Rockwood and Kingston rescheduled twice.
But they ended up playing tonight, right?
They ended up playing tonight.
And Kingston ended up winning that football game?
Yeah, 21-13.
Yeah.
21-13. Was it 14-13 late in the game? Did I hear that?
I don't know.
The last time I seen it, Rockwood, they wasn't updating real quick. And it was 7-7, and then I turned around and it was 21-13.
Harriman put a beating on Oakdale, 55-13.
Yeah, and the crazy boy ran for over 200 yards. He got his 1,000 yard there, 6,000 plus yards, and 6 games in. Yeah.
Wow.
And real quick, Coach Gaddis wants us to call in here in a bit. So whenever you're ready, we'll call Coach Gaddis.
Okay, whenever you're ready to leave, he can call. So.
Well, he wants me to call him. He didn't say you.
I got you. No, and back to, and we've got a play from the game tonight that we're going to show later before we go on to just, some of this is on officiating. You know, like I thought their penalties tonight were absolutely outrageous on how many there were. There was a hold called that Clinton declined.
Yes.
And I watched the replay on Brad's monitor twice. I don't know what the guy was seeing.
Yeah, it was on Baffert, number 77.
Yeah, it was.
And I seen him when he threw it. I was like, no, he
didn't
manhandled
turn
him.
He just manhandled him.
Yeah, he just manhandled him. I seen it.
Yeah, but
I seen it.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I mean, there's a play, and I mean, literally, I watched it 2 or 3 times, and I was leaving. Someone sent me the clip of the play of a kid getting tackled to the sidelines and then shoved into the bench, and then taunting, and just, you know, dead ball, personal foul.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to straighten something up. You know, don't slap them on the hand.
Yeah.
You know, as I was raised, you know, my dad made rules, and if I didn't follow them, I got in trouble because if not, it was just a suggestion.
That's right.
I mean, so,
That's right.
you know, it's kind of, Kingston scored with 3 minutes left to go up 21-13. It was 14-13 most of the second half.
Wow.
And I thought that was the deal as I was trying to follow that, because I thought, man, there's going to be some talk of that one as the night unfolds. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get Coach Gaddis on the phone here. Hall of Fame coach Joe Gaddis.
Yeah, correct that, Hall of Fame coach.
And maybe we can get the Price is Right to call
Price
in.
is Right, baby.
But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right. Hold on, we're not going to take a quick commercial break. But keep in mind, while we get ready for this tomorrow night OEB game, I got the main camera guy right here beside me for that game.
I will be there.
Yes, Anderson County.
Hook 'em. I seen Coach Terry tonight.
Did you?
Yeah. You got to talk to Coach Terry tonight. Talk to Tim Elrod a little bit tonight. So we're excited.
Taking up 2 spots.
We're excited. We're excited about that.
Yeah, and tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, OEB came through, being able to do that. We know that's not free, and it takes a little bit of time, but that's awesome that we get to do another game, get the kids recognized, and we want to thank OEB for that. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
What does strength in numbers mean to you? At Covenant Health, it means we see nearly 2.2 million visits annually. It means our 13,000 dedicated experts are all working together for a common goal. With over 150 locations throughout East Tennessee, you'll always find an open door to care, because we are committed to being the first, best, and strongest choice for the one number who matters most. You. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OEB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
wanted to continue my education after high school, but my family and I didn't think we could afford it. Then I found out that Roane State has the options to make college possible. Now I'm pursuing my dreams and will make my family and community proud.
Kathy May Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy May Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1 in 7 people will need a blood transfusion during their life. That's 1 person every 2 seconds receiving a life-saving product. At Medic Regional Blood Center, we are the primary blood provider for 25 hospitals in 23 East Tennessee and southeastern Kentucky counties. Started in 1958, Medic has been serving Knoxville and the surrounding areas for 66 years. For 1 hour of your time, you can save a life. Visit medicblood.org for more information on blood donation.
Welcome back to the free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard. We have Coach Gaddis here on the air. Coach, we've talked to a couple different people tonight. Tell us just how hard that is to pull that game off with no school and what it kind of did to the crowd and everything that kind of took place over the last 48 hours for you.
Well, number one, I'm glad we got to play. I think the weather was actually better tonight than it's going to be tomorrow. But it's unfortunate because we had homecoming. We had homecoming luncheon. That's kind of a tradition at Oak Ridge High School. We canceled that. We had a pep rally scheduled for the last block of the day, and we had to cancel that because we weren't in school. And while I thought our student body, our student section was pretty good, it would have been much better had we had school. And the crowd on both sides was nothing like it would have been had we not had, the weather yesterday. And this morning that we had last night, hurricane, you turn on TV and you hear about hurricanes and stuff like that. And, it definitely had an adverse effect on the crowd on both sides because I think Clinton would have brought a lot more people and we would have had a lot more people. But all in all, we got to play the game on Friday night and, we got homecoming done. We got the Hall of Fame done and we beat Clinton at homecoming, so it turned out to be a good night. It could have been a much better night financially, but we got the game in.
Coach, Cody Jordan here. How does it feel to beat Clinton?
It's always great to beat Clinton, especially on the heels of what happened last year in the playoffs. So, we're back. Starting a new winning streak, I hope.
A new winning streak, hopefully 15. Coach, before you got on the air, we were talking about the on-field shenanigans going on by some players on the Oak Ridge's side. I was curious if you saw that, and if you did, what are your thoughts on that? Because I know you're an old-school old ball coach. You won a lot of championships. You won a lot of games. You beat Clinton a lot of times, most importantly. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, that game, unfortunately, seems to bring the worst out in both teams as far as behavior. I've been a part of that game for 20 times or 21 times or something like that, and it always seems like there's too many penalties in there, people running their mouths on both sides, and it's frustrating for sure. But I obviously don't care for it, and I'm sure Coach Rain was disappointed in the number of penalties and penalty yards we had. I have no idea how much it was, but I'm sure he'll address that.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, real quick, we have had a contract question asked for us, and you've been a football coach a long time and an AD now. If the two schools can't work out something in this situation in the contract, is there a fine for that, or is it just no contest? You all would lose money tonight if you couldn't work that out and you move forward?
In the old days, and the old days weren't that long ago, but let's just say the first time I was here at Oak Ridge back in the 80s and 90s, anytime you had a contract put together like that for a game, a home and away game, there was always like a $5,000 or even a $10,000 financial reward if you didn't play. If somebody backed out, that's what it cost you. Nowadays, most contracts don't have any type of financial penalty involved. I don't know why, but it's gotten away from those through the years. So that's kind of the way it used to work and kind of the way it works now.
Gotcha. Because I kind of heard this because, different schools were trying to get out of games, and then they were trying to reschedule them, and then I'm not coming to this tonight. So that's kind of, it's interesting, but it's frustrating. If you're the home school and you've lost that gate in that game, that is very frustrating for everybody.
It really is. It's, football, I'm sure most schools, not just Oak Ridge, but football financially carries the load. I mean, there's a lot of sports in high schools that don't make any money, and there's some sports that lose money every year. And if you lose a football gate, that's financial disaster at most schools. So that's a pretty big deal. In postponing a game or trying to reschedule it in the best interest of the home team, that doesn't always work out, as you well know.
Yeah, Coach, and speaking of that, I got a text that Rockwood Kingston probably made a fourth of the amount of money tonight that they would on a regular Friday night with those two schools playing each other. And it's detrimental when you start losing that kind of money to actually operate and function a football team.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's just a terrible situation financially. And athletic departments, not only Oak Ridge, but football, brings in so much money that you just can't afford to lose a gate like this.
Absolutely. Coach, thanks for calling, and we'll let you go. I know it's been a long day for you. There's a lot of phone calls and for the last couple of days on what's going on. So Wildcats with a big win, and I said on the show when they were 0-2, they'd be 5-2 after they played 7 games. So hopefully Coach Rain can prove me right.
I hope so. We've won 3 in a row. We're 2-0 in the region, so we're rolling right now. Hopefully we'll keep it going.
Coach, real quick, who's our next game against?
Central.
Come on, man. You're a fan. You don't even know you play next.
Oh, my gosh. Coach, you know who this guy is? I don't know who he is.
Coach, we got to get off here. He needs a break.
See you at the gym, Coach.
Take it easy.
See you.
I'll tell you about the financial part of it was tonight at the Oliver Springs Sunbright game. And I mean, I know that's not a big marquee game, but I could probably count 25 people in Sunbright's bleachers. And then look at Oliver Springs, and it looked packed because everybody's in the same
This
two
is at
rows.
Sunbright?
Yeah, no, this was at home.
Okay.
This was our homecoming. The homecoming festivities got canceled, so now they're going to figure that out. That's another thing that goes into it all.
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah. I mean, it was tough. But what do you do? I mean, if you reschedule for tomorrow and it rains, then your crowd's terrible and you should have played on Friday night. If you wait till Monday and you don't have a crowd and it's good weather, well, you didn't have a good crowd because it's Monday night. We should have been playing Friday or Saturday. There's just no winning in this situation for any athletic director, any coach, or any school.
I wouldn't want to play 2 games in 1 week, much alone the same day.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. So it's a. And it's kind of odd. We don't have many calls tonight. We don't have many things because there's not a lot of people that's watched high school football tonight.
Not many games.
Yeah.
The only big one was, which was a good game to have, Maddox had himself a field day along with Will Presley. So that's about the only big game that was, if you're in Roane County, it's Rockwood and Kingston.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's terrible. I mean, like Coach Spradlin was texting me earlier, they really didn't know earlier today if they was even going to play a game. I mean, there's a bridge washed out near Greenville.
Right.
And it's been wild. I've got a guy who lives about 50 miles west of Tallahassee. And I called him yesterday just to check on him. He said, we're kind of hunkered down, but it looks like we're going to be on the western side of the storm, which is fine. Well, today he's playing golf
Right.
I mean, he's in Seaside. He's in Sandestin, where everything, west or east of Tallahassee just got flooded and bombarded. So it's kind of
we're headed to Panama in 2 weeks for fall break, and we were wondering if it,
He's 15 miles from Panama, and he played golf today.
Okay, well, it would be all right. I hate to think of it that way because there are unfortunate things going on, but still.
Yeah, I understand. So
we might be talking about college football early if we keep this up.
Oh, we will be. Yeah, we'll get maybe a couple more calls, and then we'll kind of go that way. Hey, as far as Oliver Springs goes, and I know your son's on the team, so you probably have some insight with this. How does it play out, and what have they been doing different for this week and the next week and following to kind of stay getting better, but no Cofield is looming?
Well, I mean, you just got
the Cofield game has to be talked about.
Oh, it's talked about.
Okay,
it's talked about I mean, I talk about that 2 or 3 times a week. People at work, Cofield fans, not Cofield fans. Even like tonight, I put the post on there about Happy Son's Day. Get healed up. We're gonna need you. Wimp Shootman, Texas says he needs to get better for 10-24. You don't even think about we got Midway, Whitwell in between, which is not going to be rollovers. Whitwell's ranked top 5 in the state.
Who do you think is the favorite going into that game?
What game?
Cofield, Oliver Springs.
Oliver Springs.
Oliver Springs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I think it's close. I'll tell you what I wish. I wish it was a Friday night football game. Yeah. I think that Friday night atmosphere, and I'm not saying it's going to be bad,
right?
But the Friday night atmosphere, not on TV, just draws a better crowd and a better environment.
Yeah.
And you can say what you want to. It's 10-24. It's the end of the month. They might not be somebody that can go spend $21, or they might go spend $21 if they had to, but now they're going to stay home.
Right. Because it's on Rivalry Thursday.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
there'll still be a big crowd, but I think that will hurt a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Price.
Yes, sir. How are you guys?
We are good. My Price is Right man had to go home. But
the shirt though looked good on him.
So the rumor was they had some shirts printed up. If you lost that next game, it says the price was wrong. Is that true?
I don't know, man. I hope we just keep winning so we don't have to find out.
Just keep rolling.
Hey, Coach, I know you had to be excited about the way you all played last night. You've done this, 15, 16 years. How bad was that weather?
We played in a couple games with rain. I felt like, again, but there's only been a couple where it just almost like a continuous rain the whole game. I mean, the way it started out, it wasn't as bad, but pretty much after our first drive on offense, it was coming down pretty good. But our kids and our people, the support staff that we had, did a good job of taking care of what we needed to.
I got a phone call from one of the guys about 30 or 45 minutes after the game was over, and he was on his way home. And the first thing I said, why are you just leaving? He said, everybody was out there hanging out and talking. Talk about the culture and just what it feels like over there right now, because it's pouring the rain. You got people 30, 45 minutes after just hanging out and talking. That's pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's excited. Obviously starting out 6-0, but I think just the overall momentum that we have in our football program right now is, it's just a lot of people want to be a part of it. And, the chemistry's good on our football team, but also I think the chemistry's good all across our school with our parents, our administration, the supporters that we have. So it was just a fun night to, football, it's a hard sport, and you got to put a lot of time into it. You only get so many opportunities to play, so when you win, you want to celebrate them.
Yeah, absolutely. So now Friday night, a week from tonight, you'll be going over to MLK. Has Austin East won a football game yet?
I don't think, no. I think they were on 5. They're supposed to play Pigeon Forge, but I think that game got moved.
Okay, I did see that. Yeah. So they basically had an off week this week, and you got to play on Thursday night. So that's over there at AE, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. So tell us a little bit about Terrion Thomas. I know he's getting some interest. I think I maybe read that he picked up an offer. Sophomore running back for you. Did I hear right? He scored 19 touchdowns this year?
I think he's at 17, but
okay.
He's had 10 the last 2 games, and obviously got an offer from EKU last Saturday, and getting some other stuff that we're hoping that may come to fruition pretty soon. But Terrion's he's a special talent just to be a sophomore. His ability to catch the football and line up or out of the backfield or lining up at receivers. Got great hands, and then his vision once he gets it is something to see. I mean, his stop and go ability is impressive, and obviously he's just as good as the guys around him. And we got plenty of receivers that are very dynamic. So it's not like you can just load the box on us and try to stop the run or double team him. So it's obviously when you have that many weapons like we do right now, it makes us tough to defend. Obviously, we got to execute and things like that. But Terrion is, the last 2 weeks has really been able to showcase the type of player he is.
Coach, this is Cody Jordan. You helped rebuild Campbell County. You turned that around. First year at Grace, and now you're just winning all types of ball games with good players. I'm curious on how you manage and build a good culture in a football locker room, especially in high school. So I'm very curious on how you do that.
Well, I think number one, you got to have a foundation of what you believe in, and your core values that you try to set in a program. And then I think unity is important from the top down. Your administration have to be aligned with what you're trying to do, and then obviously getting a staff's important. And then at the same time, you want your kids to enjoy playing football. I mean, it's still a game, so you want to create a culture that has good chemistry with each other, but also is one that kids enjoy being a part of. And we had a great run at Campbell County, 13 years. Won a lot of games, probably did some things that people didn't think we could do. And then obviously at Grace right now off to a great start. But it's more than just the wins and losses. I think the good culture is it's seen in a lot of different ways. And obviously you want it to be on the scoreboard, but there's just a lot of factors that go into that.
Yeah, Coach, you're a good coach. I'm a big fan of yours. Even though you're at Grace, I'm always rooting for you. And good luck with the season.
I appreciate it, man. Go Rams.
Go Rams.
There you go, Coach. Hey, have a good night. I'm glad, and you got Cody's approval, so you can sleep well.
Sleep well, Coach. It's better than Jonathan Cox's approval.
Appreciate it.
See you, bud.
I think their quarterback had some loose. I mean,
yeah,
and MTSU. I heard a rumor when we were there at the scrimmage. Maybe
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I can't confirm that or deny that. I just knew that T got an offer from EKU.
Got you.
The quarterback is a really good quarterback.
Yeah, he is.
He's a great thrower. I think he was leading the Prep Extra area, the 5-star area in passing. And he threw for 200-plus yards and 2 or 3 TDs last night in the rain.
Right.
So there was a lot of good pieces, and Justin and Matt didn't give himself and his brother enough credit right there when he started talking about that, because it starts at the top. He threw the administration a bone, but it stops at the top. It starts at the top with them too, and feeds down. And then they got a staff. Craney won some state championships, I think, at Greenville, and then won a state championship at Central. And then was a head coach, and then they get him away to come coach with them. And you got Josh Kerr, who'd been a head coach over there.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot of experience, and
yeah, they got a lot there.
You can hear the knowledge and enthusiasm spewing out of him, because at the end of the day, leadership is all about directing the attention away from you and giving it to everyone else around you.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately one of the bad parts about it as well. You don't take any credit, but you take all the blame, and he's doing all the right things at Grace Christian.
It's like somebody asked Bear Bryant once, how are you so successful? And he said, I surround myself with successful people.
And that sounds exactly what Coach Price is doing, so I expect big things out of him this year.
Yeah, when you get a reputation like they have too, it's easy to hire assistant coaches.
Yeah. People want to work for you, play for you. If you're the Derek Dooleys and Butch Jones of the world, no one wants to work for you.
They're building a culture over there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's only going to breed success. More kids are going to want to come to Grace.
Yeah,
and do it.
Did y'all scrimmage them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we scrimmaged them. We actually scrimmaged them in the spring and I'm pretty sure it was twice.
How'd you guys do?
All right.
I forgot that Brent Kelly is your OC all the time.
Yeah.
I forget that when
Yeah.
we're together. We've never talked about it, but I think his
Right.
son plays Little League football
He
for
does.
Grace. But yeah, it's. I knew that. Now that looking back on, it, I remember them scrimmaging.
And real quick, I just want to ask you as well. We were just talking about culture building and building a good foundation. You've been at Oz and you've seen Coach Harper turn that program around. I was around when Coach Green was around, and when I was in middle school at Oz, my 8th grade class won the equivalent of the middle school football state championship 2008. And after that, in high school, after the Garrett Millers and Jordan Romero's of the world graduated, it kind of went downhill for Oz after that.
Right.
So I was kind of curious what Coach Harper has done different to build a good culture in that locker room.
Well, he's a hometown guy, you know. I mean, when he got the job, he said, "Hey, look, guys, I'm a young man and I got my dream job."
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and he's got a good scheme. He's got a good head coach. He got good coaches with him. He knows the kids. You know, he's seen them grow up. Coached them in middle school to the equivalent of state championship. Very next year, he gets hired on as the defense coordinator, rolls over to offense coordinator, and one of his assistant coaches on the team now, Wendell Jones, wins the championship the very next year. You know, so there's a good squad of kids there. That's, you know, seniors. You got 9 seniors. You got 14, I think, juniors, and I mean.
Well, as Coach Price said, at the end of the day, he wants the kids to enjoy it. So I'm seeing a similarity between both and Oz in regards to good locker room culture.
Yeah,
good coaching.
He's got a squad, you know, and they play hard. They want to play for him. You know, they love him. You know, he's got their respect for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take another commercial break. We've been going at it here. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit of college football. If we don't have any phone calls, then we'll go home early tonight. As we know, we have Tennessee on a bye week. We have a lot of games that were canceled to move to Saturday. A few moved to Monday. We wanted to go ahead and do the show tonight because we didn't know what tomorrow would hold with the weather. And obviously, we had our game of the week tonight, so we thought it'd be good to go ahead and do this. But we will jump out. We want to thank Free Medical Clinic for another sponsorship this year, and thank you for what they do for all the surrounding areas for the free medical work they do. We will jump out and take a quick commercial break.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The Free Medical Clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
(1952). That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
What is strength when you're battling cancer? Is it a shoulder to lean on? A voice of hope? Is it confidence in the most available care options? Or is it unmatched expertise answering your hardest questions? Giving you the courage to move forward. At Covenant Health, we think it means all of this and more for you. Let our strength be yours.
I wanted to continue my education after high school, but my family and I didn't think we could afford it. Then I found out that Roane State has the options to make college possible. Now I'm pursuing my dreams and will make my family and community proud.
Kathy Mae Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy Mae Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1 in 7 people will need a blood transfusion during their life. That's 1 person every 2 seconds receiving a life-saving product. At Medic Regional Blood Center, we are the primary blood provider for 25 hospitals in 23 East Tennessee and southeastern Kentucky counties. Started in 1958, Medic has been serving Knoxville and the surrounding areas for 66 years. For 1 hour of your time, you can save a life. Visit medicblood.org for more information on blood donation.
Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. Free Medical Clinic provides no-charge medical care to low-income and uninsured families. Over 14,000 people in Anderson, Roane, and Morgan counties are uninsured. This year alone, over $9 million in value has been given away from the free medical clinics. If you need to see someone and don't have insurance, go see the Free Medical Clinic. They've done a great job and want to thank them for what they do. They also support our kids in the area. I know a lot of the kids sit around at night and they listen to the show right on their Facebook feed or on their phone or whatever. Get texts all the time. Calls have been down a little bit tonight. I would say maybe a fourth of the games were played according to what's normally played. You got people that don't have power. It's according to where you are. But like Jesse said, just a quick recap. Kingston, late minute drive to beat Rockwood. Webb has to beat CAK in overtime. And a highly competitive Clinton Oak Ridge game until the midway through the third quarter, late third quarter into the fourth. So good night of high school football still. Tomorrow will be interesting. We're going to switch our focus to the Tennessee Vols. When's the last time, Jett, you have watched a Tennessee defense that looks like this one?
98.
98.
I mean, that's what they got me feeling like. I mean, I'm not saying we're going on to win a national championship, but I'm going to tell you right now that
feels like 98.
The team is flying.
01-02 was pretty daggum good on
wasn't
defense.
Bad, yeah.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's a different level of flying around.
It is, and they're excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a Vols fan for a long time, and I have seen some rough years, and I'm buying into it. When you got your coach telling your quarterback, the defense, we got this.
Yeah.
We're not going to open nothing up. I mean, you want to score a few more points, and the offense does, but we're all right.
Yeah, I think that showed a lot of maturity
Yes.
on Heupel, because they were talking about this a lot on the 99.1 about how he's holding a lot of discipline in to want to run up the score. I think there was a lot of things that happened in that game that made him decide to not play fast in the later half of the second half. Field conditions. On top of that, your defense is playing well, as you just mentioned earlier. And our offensive line's the biggest thing. I think we had 2 offensive linemen down in there. So,
Yeah.
Cox, I know you're itching to say something. Go ahead.
No, I think a lot of it has to do with respect for their opponent.
Right.
I feel like, and I think this is the thing that the media the local media is dodging. The respect for the opponent was huge for Heupel. But I don't know that Heupel really trusted his offense to air it out against Oklahoma.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, how many times did Nico fumble dropping back to pass?
Well, that's where I talked about earlier, the offensive line.
Twice?
Yeah, that's where the offensive line couldn't protect him. Granted, that first one wasn't his fault because he was in motion of
He fumbled the
throwing
football.
The second time was his fault because he needs more ball security. The first time was not his fault because he was in the process of throwing the football. That's on the offensive line's fault. Second one, 100% his fault. You've got to hold on to that ball.
Well, I felt like Oklahoma had a good scheme for them. Their offense is
I think it's
horrendous.
a good defense. Yeah.
Their quarterback's horrendous.
They took their quarterback out and said he didn't know they didn't feel like he was getting the gist of the play. Man, is this not week 4?
Yeah.
And then they're just going to leave the other guy in that didn't do that. Was their defense is there, but Oklahoma's going to have a long road.
Did you see there was one of the videos that UT posted where Heupel's whispering to Nico, and he literally, I don't know if he meant to do this or not, but you can hear him whisper to Nico, I let up a little bit.
Yeah.
So whether he let up due to respect or field conditions or to protect Nico from Oklahoma's defense, who knows? But
yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope this Arkansas game for us going to Arkansas, I think it's better that it's a night game. You're not trying to go out there and play like a 12 o'clock game or something crazy. But I'm concerned that this could be a letdown type game. But it's one of those things, and I've looked at the schedule a lot, but it's also coming off a bye week.
Right.
So I think that one, to me, I've said all along, if they win the Oklahoma game, I think the next scary game is Arkansas. It's not Florida.
Right. No, the Arkansas is which Arkansas team's going to show up.
Yeah. Out of those two, I think Arkansas is scarier than Florida.
Yeah.
I think Florida is awful.
Yes.
I don't think I care about, it's Florida. I don't care about that. Those kids don't care about that. These kids didn't even watch UT football when it's Florida for the last 8 years.
I think we're 5-19 against Florida since 2000, if I'm correct. And you go into that game thinking, man, it's like you said, it's Florida. It's Florida, and we're getting ready to have fun.
Do you know how many Butch Jones-led teams lost to a horrendously worse Florida team?
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's, for UT fans, it's in our heads, Florida, but as Cox said, those UT players, they don't care.
They don't. And I think that's, for some reason to me, I think, winning, it's breeding some confidence. And the way the defense is flying around right now, and there's so many players that could play, the front seven's so good, we don't really know much about the secondary.
Right.
I mean, we really don't. Three's had a great, I was reading something about he's played like 49 snaps. They've thrown to his way 4 times with 3 incompletions and an interception.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the quarterback's getting killed as he's throwing. I mean, there's just not much going on there. And you could tell they were pissed off when Oklahoma scored.
Yeah.
I mean, even when they got it down there with the penalty to the 1, they still had the 6-inch line or whatever it is. It was all they could do, get the ball in the end zone.
Right.
Yeah. But there's so much talk about Nico and Heupel's offense, but right now the MVP is the defense.
Is it Tim Banks?
Tim Banks.
How long does he stick around? How long does somebody?
Well, this is his first real good year with us. Last year it was questionable. The year before that was questionable. This is like the one.
And he's bringing them in too, and he's building depth, and they're going to have a good defense.
Here's what I'll say about that. You can't tell me the year before was questionable when you overachieve and make the Orange Bowl and win the Orange Bowl.
Right. The defense is questionable. We gave up a lot of points.
Well, but they got the job done. Winning's winning.
There's a reason why half our secondary, well, pretty much all of our secondary transferred out.
But that's his job. His job is to get rid of what he can't win with and bring more in.
Yeah.
That's the John Calipari thing. I mean, why is John Calipari a Hall of Fame coach? He's always had the best players.
Right.
And one year he happened to win it. Yeah. But with Tim Banks, you could tell this has been coming little by little. He just needed more depth.
Yeah.
But this, I mean,
he's got it.
Look at Peace Jr. I mean, you got to give Tim Banks credit for that, right?
Right.
And Charlie, is it Charlie Garner?
Yeah. Who was the other defense end that left? I can't remember his name. He's blank.
Tyler Barron.
He wasn't going to play.
Right. Now, like, how do you know that you can lose that and be as good as you are still?
Because you know what you have coming.
Got it. You
know what you have coming. When Tyler Barron walked out and left, I can remember exactly where I was and who I was in the car with, and they said, "Oh my gosh, blah blah blah." I said, "That just makes sense. They weren't willing to pay because they didn't need it." I mean, basically, you're telling a hometown Knoxville guy, "Hey, listen, we're not going to pay you what you were making because I've got 3 guys better than you."
Yeah.
There's no other way to skin that cat.
Yeah.
I mean, with today's game, right? They knew they had people better than him.
Especially like in UNLV. I mean, we got to touch on that a little bit.
Of course.
I know you know more about it than I do, but what happened there? I mean, that quarterback.
He's promised money, not getting paid.
Is that not kind of like that high school quarterback you're talking about? Went from one school to the other. And
there you go. Yeah.
I mean, I was waiting on the backfire. You know, the NIL and the paying players and all that to see, and that's the first one I've seen so far.
Did you see today where an offensive lineman is not playing another game? He's going to redshirt and transfer because he didn't get his NIL money.
Where's he from?
I'd have to look back.
Oh,
there was 2 or 3 that I read about today. Florida's best cornerback is not playing the rest of the season.
Here we go.
Wait, say again?
University of Florida, their best defensive back is not playing the remainder of the season.
Wow.
And he's redshirting so he can transfer somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, how long is that job going to be there?
Did you hear what Spurrier said? Spurrier said, no, Saban. Did you hear what Saban said?
Oh, no, but I won't do.
Saban said, and you go watch it, I'm going to paraphrase best I can, y'all need to stop running football coaches off at Florida and let somebody have enough time they can build a program.
Right.
And he went through, I think he maybe said, y'all went through 3 football coaches since I've been the football coach at University of Alabama. How can you build that to expect them to win?
Right. And Saban took over a 5-7 Alabama team.
Yeah, and he's a different animal.
Right.
Yeah, he's a different animal. So tomorrow, I think the game of the week, obviously, for SEC is Alabama.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
And Florida. I brought this up during the break. Alabama, Georgia. Georgia is favored in Tuscaloosa.
Yep.
Okay, follow me with my analogy here. They're favored in Tuscaloosa. On the winning percentage that ABC has been posting for Tennessee to win, they have Tennessee's chance to beat Alabama at 47. They have Tennessee's chance to beat Georgia in Athens, 45. How do you come up with that?
I don't know. It's you never know how they're going to go up with that kind of stuff.
I mean, what mathematical equation can get you to where you have a 2% better chance to beat Alabama at home than you do Georgia on the road, but Georgia's favored in Tuscaloosa?
Right. And the last time I seen it was 2.5, but ESPN has now showed 1. Give it up 1. I mean, you might as well just break it even.
Wonder what that opened at.
I'm not sure.
Because you get 3 points automatically, right, for home field advantage?
I believe so.
So they think Georgia is at least 4 to 5 points better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Who won the Miami game tonight? I know they were playing.
Okay, I'll give you an update on that. I don't know if y'all remember Aiden Green. You remember Aiden Green that played at Powell?
Mm-hmm.
He caught a go-ahead touchdown with about 4 minutes to go or maybe 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter to give them a lead over Miami.
I just saw where I saw where the Miami beat VT.
Oh, so they came back. Okay, with 12 minutes to go, Aiden Green catches a touchdown to put Virginia Tech ahead over number 7 Miami, 34-24. So Miami came back and beat them? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
So they were down 10 with 12 minutes to go and came back and won.
Another local kid from in the big leagues. And speaking of another local kid, I think we are doing a big injustice once again to a local kid that deserves the number 2 RB spot for UT, Deshaun Bishop.
I'd say he is the 2 RB, isn't he?
Yeah,
I believe he is. He was the other.
He played an awesome game. Like, I was watching that entire game, and you can tell it reminded me of watching him play against Oak Ridge. He just every time he got the ball, you just see him ready to just explode with violent intent. And as an Oak Ridge fan, I hated it when it happened against us, but now I'm rooting for him to do well at UT. And
oh yeah, we got to now.
Well, of course. Well,
yeah, somebody from Covert goes to Tennessee, I'm rooting for him. I would anyways.
I'll say this much: Deshaun Bishop. I've watched him not only play football games against Oak Ridge, I watched him play basketball games against Oak Ridge. Obviously, better at football than basketball. But there was one thing that concerned me about Deshaun Bishop watching him play basketball. That was his maturity level. Because there was just a couple of games where, questionable shenanigans, but it is what it is. We're all high school kids.
Right.
But I saw a couple of interviews where his teammates were talking about him, and he was talking. It sounds like he's matured a lot, and I'm 100% rooting for him. He's a good kid
too.
and good football player, and I think you're looking at the next RB1 next year after Sampson's gone.
Yeah.
My opinion. Do you think I'm correct in that? RB1?
You got a good shot at it. I mean, the kid's running hard.
He's running really hard.
I mean, he wasn't leading the SEC in yards per carry or something at one point in time.
Yep.
I mean, of course, it was Kent State. I'm not taking that away from him, but I mean,
I'll go as far as say
good
this:
to me.
Sampson would be the starter at probably 95% of the schools in the FBS.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So to be second string right now to that guy is, and with a room full of really good running backs, tells you what you need to know.
And he's doing it. I mean, he's going out and producing. He's working hard, you can tell.
I think he's a better blocker than Sampson is. He protects Nico better than Sampson. No, Sampson's better in every other thing he does.
Right.
But when they have sometimes on third down and they're putting him into that package, they're putting him in the block. Sampson's the one that missed the block that caused the first fumble. It wasn't the left tackle's fault. Sampson's supposed to step over and take that block. He missed him, and Nico fumbles. It wasn't the offensive line's fault on that one. But I think Bishop's a better blocker.
Yeah.
Do you think he's RB1 next year when Sampson's gone?
I don't know. It's a dog-eat-dog world, man.
Yeah, you never know anymore. One minute we had Barton or Barron, and now we don't. So
I think the one thing I can tell you next year is Nico will be your quarterback. I mean, I can't tell you who's going to be the running back, tight end, wide receiver.
Have they made a decision in Texas yet for this week? I know it's Mississippi. Is he starting?
How are you feeling if you're Quinn Ewers about that decision?
Is Quinn Ewers back healthy?
Say what?
Is he healthy?
I don't think he's healthy.
I don't think so.
But the thing is, though,
if he's healthy, he's back.
But if Archie plays well, or Arch, whatever his name is, if the Manning plays well, do you think they put Ewers back out there?
Yes,
100%.
I think they do, because then he's gone this year.
Yeah.
I mean, Archie's got his chance coming, and he has showed now, that he is going to be the quarterback next year. But if Ewers comes back, he's back in there.
He's your quarterback for the rest of the year.
And I'm kind of looking at it as, can you beat Mississippi State with Arch Manning and keep your quarterback healthy? Yes.
Yep.
And then you come back. What's their next game? Is it? I can't think of it.
Take a week off, then play Georgia.
Is it Georgia? Yeah. Oh,
That's at Texas. No. Yeah. Texas.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure where it's at,
Golly,
but he'll
so
be there for that one.
Alabama goes to Texas, or Georgia goes to Texas and Alabama.
Yeah. I guess if they go to Texas.
Yeah. Well, since we're not having phone calls here, Oliver Springs next week. Midway. Oak Ridge next week. Central. Is Central a region game now?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't believe so. I think you're right on that.
I know the region's all jumbled up, messed up.
I think they're in the one with Powell and West.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think so.
Get out, support your local high school teams tomorrow night if you can. We'll have the OEB Law Game of the Week, Part 2, with Carter at Anderson County. Live at 7, but kickoff's not to 7:30. That way it can get good and dark for the fireworks show. Mm-hmm. I would say that will be the absolute best thing about that football game tomorrow night is the fireworks show. I would say Anderson County has something to come out and prove after Carter didn't want to come play them on Monday night. And I'd say you got a defense coordinator that's going to be full of piss and vinegar and ready to shut Carter out, and Anderson County's going to be trying to hang about 60 on them after what else
Score
went on.
prediction. How do you really feel, Cox? Score prediction.
I can tell you it'd be a lot to a little. It's unfortunate what's happened with this week with weather, but we try to continue on here, and I just don't see that being a close football game. I don't think there'll be a lot of close football games tomorrow. I looked at the schedule. It's just another non-interesting week. And this all goes back to we have too many classifications.
Right.
And we'll leave the show with kind of leaving that up there, but that's why when we get into region play, these weeks 3, week 4, week 5, just some brutal weeks of football. And you've got some bad regions. And I'm not going to drag us out, but I'll tell you this. I think this is the worst chance of our 5-star area winning 2 state championships than we've ever had since 5-star started.
Right.
And I'm not saying anything bad against any leagues or anything that's going on, but I think that's how much we are down as far as dominant teams go.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not 2 or 3 good teams in some of these regions, but there's not a dominant team.
Right.
And that's, this is probably the best football team Oliver Springs has had in a while.
In a long while, yeah.
In a long while.
Yeah.
And they've got a chance to make it down there.
Yes.
It's like Anderson County and Greenville. You always said, well, whoever wins this game is going to probably win a state championship. Well, you've got Upperman. Upperman beat Greenville last year. I think the only shoe-in that we have for a state championship right now would be Alcoa.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. We always got that in our pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Anderson County's really good, and I think they can win it. But I think the only shoe-in would be Alcoa.
And it's like everybody. I've been reading on that Coach T a lot. Everybody in single A world is McKenzie's to lose. So
yeah.
And that'd be their second one in 3 years. So
yeah. And before that, it was South Pitt.
Yeah, and in between that was South Pitt. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's if you really think about it, there's not a dominant 5A team. For the last couple of years, whoever wins the West Powell game is going to win a state championship.
Right.
And they have. And now there's just some.
I'm glad to see Maryville back winning.
Yep.
Back into their normal routine, and
Maryville's,
hopefully that goes to carries on.
And they're young at the quarterback position, but they're really good at the offensive line, defensive line. But it's not the old Maryville where, hey, they're going to go win a state championship.
Right.
I mean, you've got.
That belongs to Oakland now.
Well, I don't think so. I think that belongs to either Ravenwood or Oakland.
Yeah.
Ravenwood came up here and beat up on Alcoa pretty good, and they've got some stud Division I FBS players.
Yeah.
So I think that's going on. I wonder, in the grand scheme of things, if private school football is starting to weigh its toll on our local teams that were really dominant for a while.
Yeah, it is. I think that they got to figure something out on that.
I wonder.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the Murfreesboro area is not getting hit as hard, because if you look at the Murfreesboro teams, they're kind of holding their dominance, and they've kind of been able to hold serve the last couple of years against some of our bigger schools up this way.
Witten, they're like, I think I mentioned this before, they're like 5 6A schools within 7 miles of each other, or 10 miles of each other, right there in the middle of Nashville.
Yeah, that would be
they're like right next block over.
Yeah, you're right. Summit, Independence, Ravenwood, like all those, you can get within. Yeah, do mileage within 10 miles.
Right. Could you imagine if there was only 3? I mean, look at all the talent them teams would have.
Yeah. So, but I think that's kind of, I don't know. We had a long discussion on that the other day about, our team going down there and covering everything. But one of our fears is this year it might be, we might only have one team playing for a state championship this year.
Yeah.
And when we first started, it's 4 or 5.
Right.
Our guys go down there and heck, they'd start working on the private school, and they'd be working till the last game of the night, play cover Maryville.
Right.
But it's kind of changing.
Well, let's hope it goes back to it this year.
We hope. We hope.
I'd do anything to make a trip to Chattanooga.
Hey, it would be.
I'm going to go anyways, but.
Well, it would be unbelievable to cover an Oliver Springs team going to the state tournament.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be great doing Anderson County again. It'd be awesome doing Maryville again. Maryville people would be excited for going to a state championship for the first time in a long time because 3 years, they've not been in one.
We're rooting for the underdog Oliver Springs. Maryville has plenty of championships to cry over. AC has some championships to cry over. Oz, we're rooting for the underdog. We're not rooting for the big leagues anymore to win more state championships. We want the little dog to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. There'll be some Coalfield people calling you, but I'm sure.
I was about to say, we got to get out of here, right?
That's right. That's right.
The boss, we got to get out of here.
I can get out of here quick tonight. So, all right. Hey, we appreciate everybody who tunes in. I know there's a lot of people watching. We got a lot of texts tonight about different things and different questions. It's good to get some insight from admins and ADs and stuff about what all's went on with the process of this week. I found that
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, because, me and you, we're outside looking in.
Right.
And to hear what goes on and how that goes down, even from the money to the contracts. Thanks, Coach Gaddis, and thanks, Dr. Downs, for calling in, and thanks for the coaches that called in.
See, I know, real quick, on the Oliver Springs side of it is they told us, I'm pretty sure he would not know till noon if that game was going to be played.
Today?
I'm pretty sure it was today.
Wow. Was that from the school system?
Yes. From Roane County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be short, which makes sense.
Right.
Which makes sense. At noon, you can look at it and make a decision.
Right.
Now, it would stink for the visiting team. They've got to cancel everything and then move everything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the Roane County guys said, hey, I'm going to make what's the best decision. I'm going to use some common sense here. We'll have a decision at noon.
Every single one of them played.
And every single one of them played.
Yeah, except for Midway. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were at
now, I will say this. I was in Campbell County all day. We lost power 3 different times.
Wow.
There's trees down all over the place in La Follette. I don't know what it looks like on the other side of the mountain. There's trees down. I mean, they had main roads in La Follette shut down today because of trees all across the road. So it was different up there today. 3 different times we lost power for 30 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
So we got hit a little harder up that direction. But it's tough for these ADs. No matter what decision you make, you're going to make someone mad.
Yep.
That's why I'm glad I'm in the toilet paper business. But it's it's just crazy. But at the end of the day, my message will be go to school.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Go to school. So, guys, I appreciate y'all coming tonight. DJ will be back with us next Friday night. Cody will be on the road traveling with Clinton, and we'll be back. Congratulations to both y'all on your wins tonight, and we'll see you next Friday night here on the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard.
Take us to your boathouses, Cox.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The Free Medical Clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
What does strength in numbers mean to you? At Covenant Health, it means we see nearly 2.2 million visits annually. It means our 13,000 dedicated experts are all working together for a common goal. With over 150 locations throughout East Tennessee, you'll always find an open door to care, because we are committed to being the first, best, and strongest choice for the one number who matters most. You. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
I wanted to continue my education after high school, but my family and I didn't think we could afford it. Then I found out that Roane State has the options to make college possible. Now I'm pursuing my dreams and will make my family and community proud.
Kathy May Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy May Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1 in 7 people will need a blood transfusion during their life. That's 1 person every 2 seconds receiving a life-saving product. At Medic Regional Blood Center, we are the primary blood provider for 25 hospitals in 23 East Tennessee and southeastern Kentucky counties. Started in 1958, Medic has been serving Knoxville and the surrounding areas for 66 years. For 1 hour of your time, you can save a life. Visit medicblood.org for more information on blood donation.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
What does strength in numbers mean to you? At Covenant Health, it means we see nearly 2.2 million visits annually. It means our 13,000 dedicated experts are all working together for a common goal. With over 150 locations throughout East Tennessee, you'll always find an open door to care, because we are committed to being the first, best, and strongest choice for the one number who matters most. You. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
I wanted to continue my education after high school, but my family and I didn't think we could afford it. Then I found out that Roane State has the options to make college possible. Now I'm pursuing my dreams and will make my family and community proud.
Kathy May Martin has been making real estate dreams a reality for over 3 decades. Buying or selling real estate is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choosing the right realtor is next. Thinking of buying or selling? Call Kathy May Martin at Coldwell Banker Jim Henry & Associates for all your real estate needs. Rest assured, with Kathy's knowledge and experience, you will be on the winning team.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
1 in 7 people will need a blood transfusion during their life. That's 1 person every 2 seconds receiving a life-saving product. At Medic Regional Blood Center, we are the primary blood provider for 25 hospitals in 23 East Tennessee and southeastern Kentucky counties. Started in 1958, Medic has been serving Knoxville and the surrounding areas for 66 years. For 1 hour of your time, you can save a life. Visit medicblood.org for more information on blood donation.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
What does strength in numbers mean to you? At Covenant Health, it means we see nearly 2.2 million visits annually. It means our 13,000 dedicated experts are all working together for a common goal. With over 150 locations throughout East Tennessee, you'll always find an open door to care, because we are committed to being the first, best, and strongest choice for the one number who matters most. You. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OAB Law, we stand with you because communication is key.
I say hatred there. Disclaimer out of the way. It's Clinton and it's Oak Ridge. No team has played Oak Ridge more than the Dragons, and it's not even close. Take it from Clinton's perspective, all right? They're a school and everything's going fine. They're the only child getting all the attention until World War II happens. And then Oak Ridge High School has just summoned out of nowhere. And if that's not enough, they get a football team, and that football team's dominated over them. We're talking 50 wins for the new kid to only 12 losses from the former only child in the family. Clinton fans are solidly Clinton fans. Oak Ridge fans, solidly Oak Ridge fans. If that's not a rivalry, I don't know what it is. But let's throw some more gasoline onto this brush fire, shall we? Oak Ridge had a legitimate shot at a state semifinal last season and maybe even a championship until Clinton showed up in the second round and upset them. That feeling the Dragons got from that one is what the Greeks would call catharsis. If all the heartbreaking losses over a decade were a source for pent-up longing to end a drought causing metaphorical famine and wildfires, any win would have been enough to water some crops. But to win in the playoffs, ending the season of those who had left you in this Sahara of frustration, well, that was enough precipitation to warrant singing in it. But like Sir Isaac Newton said, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Put in a simpler way, this time, the dominant team is the one with pent-up rage and anger. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and right now, that's Clinton. Will they be ready for the coming Army? And can they stand tall to earn a second straight victory in the series for the first time since 2009? We'll find out tonight on the OEB Law Game of the Week. Day or night, 24/7, someone will be there to answer and give you a free consultation and get to work on your case immediately. Call 865-546-1111 or visit the website full of helpful information. You know what it is, reckontoacheck.com. That is OEB Law. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by Coach Shoe, the football guru, but you can call him Coach Dan Shoemaker. That's what I do. Long introduction. I wanted to ride in that. This is an important rivalry, and I felt like it deserved dramatic effect. A lot's changed for Clinton from last season to next, but one thing that won't change is that victory I spoke of. It's got to be on the minds of every single person here.
You're exactly right, Aaron. This is a rivalry. This is a big game. One thing that makes this a little bit bigger is that victory last year in the playoffs. Clinton wants to continue that feeling from that playoff victory. That was a shock to no one, and no one expected that except for that little inner circle around that Dragon program. They believed, and as the fourth quarter clicked down last year, the rest of the world realized that impact. The Wildcats, on the other hand, they've had an entire offseason to replay that game in their minds. Tonight is the night Oak Ridge will try to reset the order.
They're desperate for officials. You know there's been a shortage, so they had to involve child labor laws or skirt those child labor laws to get a kid official out there. No, that's just for fun, but it's nice to see children out there interacting with the officials.
That's great. I like that.
I do too. So, Coach Dan Shoemaker, I'm Aaron Harvey. This right here, this Coliseum, this is Blankenship Field, a legendary venue in Tennessee, and it's Clinton at Oak Ridge tonight. We'll do as we do and get you up to date on the happenings around the area, as well as preview our game tonight, so stick around. This is the OEB Law Game of the Week.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
To me, being an attorney means more than practicing just law. It means pulling alongside my clients and being their partner. It means keeping my clients informed through the legal process, which can be overwhelming. At OEB...
possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department like in Hammer's popular ladies boutique department. Special purchases. You'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammer's.
Upgrade your home with stunning natural gas appliances from Oak Ridge Utility District. Enjoy 0% financing with approved credit and turn your dream kitchen into a reality. Call today for a free estimate, get free delivery on all purchases, and enjoy handsome incentives on our appliances. Free delivery, 0% financing, and impressive incentives makes now the perfect time to switch to affordable, safe, and reliable natural gas. Don't wait. Choose Oak Ridge Utility District, your affordable energy choice. Call now or visit our website to get started.
Welcome back to the OAB Law Game of the Week. I'm Aaron Harvey with Coach Dan Shoemaker. It's a wet week, so a lot of fields are about to be tested, especially, a lot of the smaller schools. Field conditions can alter a game just as much as weather can, and we've got both to consider in our matchups this week. Tell me about what that process is like for a coach, knowing that the other team isn't your only opponent.
Yeah, there are many things that the rain will do and cause you to have to worry about and think about. The first one for me was always ball security. Holding on to the football is vital. And we would take time during the week, if it were dry but rain called for around game time, we'd do some wet ball drills, wet ball work. We'd take a couple of buckets, soak a couple of balls, and we would hand the ball, throw the ball, run our offense with a wet ball. Just to get used to the feel and handling a wet ball. Second was footing. Routes are going to be just a little bit different, so cuts are going to be just a little bit different. So timing between the quarterback and receiver is a little different. Quarterback's throws are a little tougher because that wet ball is just a little bit heavier, doesn't have quite as much grip. And then there's a mental aspect of this thing as well. It doesn't look like we've got rain going on right now, so that's a good thing. But if you're standing in the rain trying to block out all the miserable stuff going on, and sometimes it takes that mental discipline to close all that out and get the job done.
Liquid sunshine.
Liquid sunshine.
That's what Brad was. Don't say that R word. That's no. We don't have liquid sunshine, but this wind is cooking. You can see flags and at the goalpost just going nuts. So
kicking game will be affected with that as well. So
yeah. So one question, really quick. Does it, because we always think, it's raining, like the coaches have to consider that and alter the game, but you see it right there on your screen. The wind is cooking right now. Does it have to alter your game plan? Does that vary from coach to coach, or how does that work?
It did for us. We tried to simplify things, especially on offense. Defensively, you don't want you're not moving around trying to disguise things because you don't want a kid to slip on a bad footing, bad field. But yeah, I think it probably just mentally it'll close down some things that you can do or that you think that you can do.
So moving on, Sequatchie County making the trip to Coalfield from all the way over in Dunlap. This was the only regular season loss for the Yellow Jackets a year ago, and it was tight up until after halftime. New year, new me for the Indians, who were 4-1 coming into this one with the only loss to Bledsoe County. Let's throw a pretty useless but also extremely interesting factoid out there for the overly analytical. Okay, Sequatchie County beat South Pittsburgh 21-20 2 weeks ago. You may remember Oliver Springs opened the season by beating the Pirates 27-7. For a single A enthusiast, comparisons will be made between Coalfield and Oz until the regular season meeting on October 24th. With some finagling, you can take the final score of the Coalfield-Sequatchie County game, compare it to the Sequatchie County-South Pitt score, and compare that with the South Pitt-Oliver Springs score. But before any of that happens, let's just say, I think we're looking at a pretty good game.
Yeah, I think you could probably use the cube root method to kind of do a derivative to come out. That sounds really more technical than I know what it is. But
that's very David Stadney.
It sure is. I think this one has been impacted by weather because it's been moved to Saturday. This is a Saturday game now for sure. The Coalfield-Sequatchie County matchup does offer some interesting comparisons, as you were talking about. If you extrapolate the data and make some predictions and do some mental gymnastics, you can be all over the board. Long story short, I think you've got two solid teams meeting at Rochelle Field. And I think this one's going to be close, but I'm going to give the edge to the Yellow Jackets this time. They're playing at home, and I think Coalfield is on a mission this year. I think this is the next step for them.
Yeah, I made the same prediction at work today, talking to a colleague, because that Coalfield game got brought up and how it got moved and everything. And I said, yeah, you know what? I think Coalfield goes into that game and wins it, which is, that last year that was Coalfield's only loss, and I think that ended up maybe a 2-score loss or something. I believe the final score was somewhere in the area of 28-14 or something like that.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't a blowout, man.
No, it wasn't. So Clinton Oak Ridge, that's a big rivalry. We've already talked about that. There's arguably a bigger, way more heated rivalry game set to be played when Bearden goes to Farragut. I know a few Bearden grads and a couple Farragut grads. What I've gathered is that Farragut looks at Bearden as little brother, and Bearden hates it. What makes Bearden hate it worse during football season is that the Admirals have really dominated the series. The Bulldogs have 23 total wins, with only 11 of those coming since 1980. Meanwhile, Farragut enjoys having 42 total victories, but Bearden is pretty danged good, and Farragut isn't so much this season. A rivalry will be a rivalry, but this BBB TV analyst is going to take the BBs to beat the FAs.
I never knew how big this rivalry was, Aaron, until I was taking some of those leadership development classes when I was a young principal. And one of the instructors was a former principal from Farragut. I'm not going to use his name, but you folks would know it out there. He was talking about branding your school and developing taglines, and he shared the tagline they had when he was at Farragut. They would used to say Farragut, better than Bearden, cheaper than Webb.
I love that.
Yeah, and so over the years, that became, I didn't realize how big that rivalry was, but that's how they measured, better than Bearden, cheaper than Webb. So, like you, Aaron, the past trajectory seems to favor the Admirals, but I feel like the Bulldogs will put the bite on Farragut. Seems like this is their year.
That's amazing. And the fact that came from an administrator makes that even better. By the way, this is one of those games that got pushed back to tomorrow as well, and that'll kick off at 6 p.m. So, with Dan Shoemaker, I'm Aaron Harvey. We'll look around the area a little more and preview our game tonight as well on the OEB Law Game of the Week.
Hi, I'm Rick Scarborough. As a police chief, I spent my entire career serving and protecting our community. With threats to our Tennessee values growing, I'm running for state representative to ensure all our kids are protected and have opportunities with great schools and high-paying jobs. Anderson County is the best place in the country to raise a family. Please join my effort to keep it that way and defend our conservative values. Election Day is November 5th, and I would appreciate your vote.
What does strength in numbers mean to you? At Covenant Health, it means we see nearly 2.2 million visits annually from over 700,000 patients who receive hope and healing. It means our 13,000 dedicated experts are all working together for a common goal. It means completing more than 400,000 appointments for wellness and primary care, and serving 107,000 heart patients, along with those who their hearts beat for. It means providing 24,000 cancer patients with life-saving treatments and welcoming 8,000 babies into the world each year. With over 150 locations throughout East Tennessee, you'll always find an open door to care, because we are committed to being the first, best, and strongest choice for the one number who matters most. You. Covenant Health. Let our strength be yours.
In East Tennessee, our work heritage runs deep. For over a century, the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union Local 102 has been part of the area's growth and prosperity. Don't sell yourself or your business short by hiring unskilled labor. Our cutting-edge labor training facility equips our members with the advanced skills needed to be the very best in the industry. Keep jobs local and the money in the state. At Local 102, we work tirelessly today to help build a better tomorrow for our community and our members.
1 in 7 people will need a blood transfusion during their life. That's 1 person every 2 seconds receiving a life-saving product. At Medic Regional Blood Center, we are the primary blood provider for 25 hospitals in 23 East Tennessee and southeastern Kentucky counties. Started in 1958, Medic has been serving Knoxville and the surrounding areas for 66 years. For 1 hour of your time, you can save a life. Visit medicblood.org for more information on blood donation.
Patterson's Appliances has been helping families like yours find quality home appliances from trusted brands including Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid for over 55 years. Our knowledgeable appliance specialists know how to outfit your kitchen or laundry room with the right appliances to meet your needs. We service what we sell with our own in-house factory-trained service technicians, and for the DIYers, our parts department is always ready to help customers find the appliance parts they need. Patterson's Home Appliances, because we care.
And welcome back to the OAB Law Game of the Week with Dan Shoemaker and Aaron Harvey. Hurricane Helene has brought weather into our area, and that's left administrations across the state scrambling to figure out the best way to go about playing football. One such example is in Roane County. Rockwood and Kingston moved their game from tonight to Thursday earlier in the week, but then as it got closer and weather reports became more sure that Thursday was going to be worse than Friday, those two teams moved it back to Friday. Probably a good idea. Last night was pretty wet, as we saw on Rivalry Thursday. But enough about weather, maybe. Let's talk about this game. Two Roane County teams with old school coaches who love to run the football. We've seen both, and I can see this being a pretty interesting game with Kingston's depth probably being the biggest difference.
Yeah, both of these teams are really set up to operate in the rain and bad field conditions. Wet field conditions usually dictate that you run the ball, and both these teams like to do that. I think they're going to simplify what they're doing on offense. They're going to simplify what they're doing on defense. Both of these coaches, Coach Pankey and Coach Webb, know how to win in the rain. And I think this game tonight may come down to special teams and turnovers. Both are solid in all three phases of the game, but special team mistakes in games like this seem to have a bigger impact. Depth may have an impact late as that field becomes sloppy and those legs start to get tired. Kingston has more bodies, so I think that may make the difference tonight.
Oneida going to Greenback tonight. Given how things were going with the Cherokees, I probably wouldn't have mentioned this game, but last week that squad dismantled Oakdale 34-6. Could have been a fluke thing. Maybe the Eagles just had a bad night, or maybe Greenback's doing what it did a season ago, which is kind of start extremely slow before finishing strong. Now, Oneida's 2A, Greenback 1A, so this won't matter for the playoffs or anything unless tiebreakers are needed for either team, but I'm just curious to see what happens. The Cherokees still have Rockwood, Midway, Sunbright, and Oliver Springs to play. Can they sneak into the playoffs much like a season ago? Tonight might help us predict that.
The Oakdale-Greenback game was close until late. The Cherokees were able to blow that one out pretty convincingly late in the ball game. I think for a long time it was 8-6. I think the new coach, new attitude might be settling in at Greenback. Oneida coming to town will be a great test. We're going to know more about that program. We will know at the end of the night if this is the Greenback team that's back in the saddle again or if that was just a one-off.
So this game is so important. I'm talking about the Oak Ridge Clinton game. So a lot of sponsors wanted to be on board for that. And so we definitely thank them. And we'd like to tell you a little bit about those right now. Sharon Gleason for Oak Ridge School Board, Leadership for the Next Generation. She's going to sponsor our touchdowns tonight. Of course, paid for by the candidate. Also, IB3 Global Solutions, Mission First. They always put the mission first, headquartered in Oak Ridge. IB3 Global delivers focused solutions to a diverse customer set across the federal government. From East Tennessee, they project a worldwide footprint in support of customers. So thank you to IB3 Global Solutions for that. And we are about to get to our national anthem, so we will listen to that and then get to the rest of our sponsors after this moment of silence.
Would you please remain standing as the Oak Ridge High School Band, along with the Alumni Wild Band, perform our national anthem and the alma mater under the direction of Oak Ridge High School Band Director Michael Spirko.
national anthem performed tonight by the Oak Ridge Wildcat Marching Band. And so getting back to thanking our sponsors for tonight. Big thank you to Climax Roofing, more than just a roofing company. Climax Roofing and Renovations, committed to delivering top-notch quality and exceeding your expectations. Contact them, discuss your project, and let them bring your vision to life. By the way, they got a 5-star rating on Google. And County Commissioner Saber Beauchamp, she's a big old Wildcat fan, saying, "Roll Wildcats, roll." Also, Wildcat for Life, Mike Kelly. Well, actually, before we do that, Oak Ridge Mayor Warren Gooch, go Wildcats. And then Wildcat for Life, Mike Kelly, affiliate broker for Betsy Coleman Realty Company. Give Coach Mike Kelly a call today for all your real estate needs. Number on the screen there. Sorry for the pause for a moment. Clinton City Councilman Rob Harrell would like to take this time to say, go Dragons. He asked for your support in the November Clinton City election, paid for by the candidate. Clinton School Board member Kimberly KK Meredith, proud member of the Clinton School Board, and asked for your support on November 5th. Go Dragons, beat the Wildcats, paid for by the candidate. And Joey Smith, Ward 1, asked for your support for re-election in November and wants to wish the Dragons the best of luck tonight against the Wildcats, another Clinton School Board member. And also a big thank you to Sexton Automotive in Oak Ridge. Locally owned and operated family business, now into its second generation, with the third generation made up of an Oak Ridge Dance Cat and Jefferson Eagle. Sexton, your hometown dealership, offering used inventory, rentals, a service department, and body shop and collision repair. Shop local, get your Nexton at Sexton. So, all that being said, we are getting closer to kickoff. Let's take a timeout. Maybe. We'll take a timeout. No, let's go ahead and take a timeout. We'll be back to preview our game tonight at Blankenship Field. It is Clinton at Oak Ridge on your OAB Law Game of the Week.
A college degree can't be earned in just one day, but can be achieved by doing our best together, just one day at a time. From getting a great start with your Roan State Success Coach, to learning together in the classroom, accessing free tutoring in the Learning Center, and working one-on-one with your instructors. Together, we succeed, one day at a time. Oh, and free tuition helps. So apply at roanstate.edu now, and let's succeed together.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
Over 14,000 neighbors live in fear of becoming sick or injured and having to make a choice between putting food on the table or seeking medical care. The free medical clinic tries to take that fear away.
What do we help them with? We help them with diabetes, hypertension, any kind of medical need that they need that's necessary. And being in a community with the African American community lets them know that we're here.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roan County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
When the lights turn on and the game begins, you need a team you can rely on. Ray Varner Ford & Clinton's strong lineup of vehicles is crafted with the same dedication and hard work that drives our community. Step up your game in this 2025